Hello, Anthony. We're here today to talk about international tax issues. They can be solved. What we say is it's so easy to fall into trouble with international tax issues. They're also called offshore foreign tax issues. And we find that when our clients reach out to us for the first time, they often say the same sorts of things. They're overwhelmed with conflicting information and they're not sure where to start. And, why do people end up getting so confused about these issues?
Well, the first thing is we have new laws, new complicated laws like FATCA. We have confusing forms that actually have been around for a while, like the FBAR. And then there's a whole host of IRS forms that come into play when you have international assets in reporting. And you have to understand what needs to be reported, and some things need to be paid taxes on. Things you wouldn't necessarily think of: foreign life insurance, foreign pensions, partnerships, corporations, trusts, inheritances, mutual funds usually have to be reported, and there might be some tax implications to it as well. Also, tax treaties can completely change the game. Every tax treaty the U.S. has with another country is different than any other tax treaty, and it can have huge impact. For instance, something tax-free in the UK might not be tax-free in Australia.
Oh, wow. Now, another confusing thing is that the IRS keeps referencing foreign accounts, but they may not feel foreign to you. They're
Right.
from your country.
Right.
Understanding that if you're a U.S. citizen living overseas, you are still subject to the tax code.
Right.
And if you're a non-U.S. citizen living in the U.S., again, you're still subject to the tax code. Because of this confusion, I think the stakes are so high, people will give up hope even when they have an issue where they have a great defense for it.
That's true.
I think it's similar to a medical issue where it's so scary you put off solving it until you absolutely have to.
Right.
But I think similar to medical issues, it's important to take care of it right away.
If you take care of it right away, there may be a really quick, simple fix, and maybe you could have even waited a while. There still could be a simple fix. Not every case requires a full disclosure or a big deal. Some things are quite simple to deal with. Other ones are a little bit more complicated.
Yeah, but there are penalties.
Yep.
And the penalties for reporting can be severe, even more so if you're willful. So,
well, it is actually, I would say, if the IRS thinks you're willful. And that's a critical difference, because you might not be actually willful, but if the IRS feels you are, that's the thing you have to watch out for and sort of know what they're sort of trying to set you up for.
Exactly. So let's say you realize you wake up one morning and you're like, oh, I do have this issue. I need to address it. Now what?
Yeah, I would say you would want to speak to a law firm that has experience and success with international issues. And somebody who's looking out for their client's best interests. We've taken over cases where there's been a high billable hours, but not a lot of results. And we've taken over cases where the tax firm, they seem to really take the IRS's case, not really advocate for their client. They're just sort of jumping to conclusions about something instead of really digging to see what they can develop, what kind of factual basis they can develop for a lower tax or penalty. And we've seen wildly incorrect tax returns, and some things are simple and some things are a little bit more complicated that are getting wrong. And this is one reason why we have our own in-house tax preparation department. We're a law firm, but we also do all the tax preparation work ourselves, because that's critical to any claim. That tax return is the backbone of a successful resolution. So it's something you really don't want to farm out to somebody else. And the department is overseen by an actual tax attorney.
Yep. With that's the important part, international experience. If you do have a tax issue and need assistance, don't hesitate to contact us for a consult. Even if you did something that might not be so innocent, believe it or not, there's still hope. Any information you share with us is confidential. It's subject to the attorney-client privilege. We are the nation's #1 disclosure firm with thousands of taxpayers helped. We handle easy cases and we handle really complicated cases. You may even find out that you don't need to hire us. We can give you advice and answer your questions. So you can reach out to us at info@irsmedic.com. Also 888-727-8796. IRSMedic, the law offices of Parent LLP, real tax attorneys for tough tax problems.